Hi, my name is Candace, aka Picasso baby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own New Year fireworks. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping back by to paint with me today. So, if you don't know, today is day 5 of 5 days of Christmas with Picasso baby. And we've been doing Christmas paintings for the last 4 days, but today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So, it's almost the end of Christmas. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you all. And since we are in preparation of New Year now, I am going to be creating a New Year's Eve painting with you all. And this was also a special request. So I hope you all enjoy this one with me. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and turn on those post notifications. So before we get started, I'm going to go over everything that I am using in this tutorial. So as always, I'm using a 16 by 20 inch canvas. You can use the canvas size of your choice. You also want to make sure that you have some different size acrylic brushes because we are going to be working with acrylic paint. You want to make sure you have a water cup with cold water for your brushes, and then also a rag or some napkins to dry your brushes off on. You also want to make sure that you got your paint. I'm working with acrylic paint and I'm using the colors bright red, Mars black, burnt sienna, chrome yellow, titanium white, and phthalo blue. And we are going to be doing some drawing today. So you do want to get yourself a piece of chalk as well. And always everything is listed in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to start by mapping out my background. I'm going to be doing a silhouette of some buildings because we are going to be creating some fireworks. You know, what is New Year's Eve? What is the New Year without a little bang, without some lights to really bring it in? So I'm starting with my biggest brush and I'm going to be using blue paint to map out my buildings because I'm going to be putting blue paint in my background. If you want to do something different, if you want more of like a sunset look, feel free to use the colors of your choice. But we are going to be doing fireworks for the New Year. So I want it to look like it is about midnight or it's at the nighttime. So I'm going to be using blue. All I'm going to be doing for my buildings, I'm just going to start on either side, doesn't matter which one. And all I'm doing is creating buildings by making squares or rectangles, and you can do them the size of your choice. You can do as many buildings as you'd like. You can make them as wide, as short, as tall. It's completely up to you. Even if you would like, if your city has a nice skyline that you would like to mimic, feel free to do that for your painting. But all I'm doing is creating the outline of some buildings for my skyline. And they don't have to be completely perfect. We're going to go back in and fix them up when we actually paint them in with black to give that silhouette look. So once you have that, what I'm going to do now, again, I'm using blue in my background because I want it to give a nighttime sky. So I am going to start from the top and work my way down. So I'm starting from the top, and you see I'm just spreading it out all the way across. I'm going to work my way down to the buildings. As you get closer to your building, so you want to do everything all the way across first. So let's get that over there. So you're just spreading all of this out, getting that top layer covered. Now, as you get closer to the buildings, we don't want the black of the buildings and then the darker blue to mix in too much. So as I get closer to my buildings, I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of white on my brush so that it does get just a tad bit lighter near the tops and sides of the buildings. You don't want it super light. We don't want it to look like daytime. But you just want to lighten it just a bit. And that's only when you get closer to the buildings. So I'm just going to work on getting my background filled in, and then we will move to the next step together in a few. Now, once you have the background completely filled in and you have that darker blue towards the top, a little bit of a lighter blue towards the bottom, now I want to fill all my buildings in. And remember, I'm doing this silhouette look. So I'm not going to wash my brush. I'm just going to go right into my black. And I'm going to start to get all of my buildings completely filled in. And this is the time where if you feel like any of your buildings, like if the shape of them was not correct, you can always go back through and reshape them. And if your background is still wet, that's okay. Just keep blending and that blue will blend right into your black. Now, once you have everything completely filled in, before we can add any more details, we do have to let this dry. So as always, you can give yourself a 10 to 15 minute break, grab yourself a little drink, grab yourself some snacks, or you can grab your blow dryer and blow dry it until it's completely dry. And then we'll start back together on the next step in a few.
One eternity later.
All right, so now that our paintings are completely dry, we're gonna come back and do some drawing. So I'm gonna be adding on fireworks. We're gonna be adding on New Year's Eve, New Year fireworks. And I'm also gonna be adding on some champagne flutes. Now, remember, everything you add, any details you like is completely up to you. So feel free to add different details or to skip any ones that you don't want. But the first thing I want to do is right at the top, I want to write 2025. So I'm just using my chalk to write 2025. And then I'm also going to draw in my flutes. So I want my two flutes to be pointing towards the center. So I am going to do a curve that way first. And then I'm going to do another curve this way. From there, I'm going to create a pretty long U because of course the champagne flute is a bit longer. Same thing over here. Nice long U. I'm going to close the top off by curving over. And then I am going to pull out the stem and the foot of the glass. So same thing over here. I'm going to pull out the stem by pulling down two lines. And then creating a nice little oval at the foot of the glass. Now, once you have that in there, everything else we're going to do in paint. So I'm going to go ahead and put my chalk down. And now I want to switch to my medium round brush. So I'm going to be mixing up a few colors. But before I start to mix any colors, I do want to get my flutes on there first. And I'm going to put my flutes in white paint since we already have the silhouette of the black on there. I am going to outline my flutes in white. And I'm just using my medium round brush. Feel free to use a smaller round brush if you would like. But I'm just using my medium round brush. And I am just going right over the chalk lines. And you don't have to try and cover every chalk line. If it does not end up getting covered, that's okay. You will be able to wipe it away with a cold, wet rag once your painting is completely dry. All right, now that you have your flutes on there in white, now we're going to start to mix up some colors. So the first color I'm going to start with is some yellow. So I am going to mix up some yellow and white because I want it to be a little more on the pastel side. And I am going to fill in, I'm going to fill in my 0 first. So I'm just getting that filled in with my yellow. The next color I'm going to go in with, and I'm not washing my brush, I am going to go in with some red. I'm going to mix up a little bit of white with some of my red just to lighten it up a bit. And I am going to go over here to my 2. And then I do want to make an orange, so I'm going to take some yellow and mix it up with some red and a little bit of white. So I'm still not washing my brush. I'm just mixing my orange. I mixed up yellow with a little red and white. I'm going to use orange on my 5. And the last color I'm going to mix up is I'm going to mix up some green. So I am going to take some more yellow with a little bit of blue and a small amount of white. And I still didn't wash my brush. Feel free to wash yours though. And I'm going to fill in my last 2. Now, while I have this green on my brush, I'm going to also go through and start to pull out some fireworks. So for the fireworks, all you're going to be doing is creating little clusters of fireworks where you want to see them. And it's just little dashes. So I like to pull mine going up and out like actual fireworks. And you can do each color wherever you like. We're going to be doing a few layers of each color. So feel free to put them wherever you like. You can put them under each number or near each number. If you want the colors to do that, it's up to you. You can put them down near the buildings. It is completely up to you. But I'm going to wash my brush. And I'm going to be using the colors that I put in the numbers. If you want to use any extra colors, feel free to do so. But I'm only going to be using those colors. And I'm going to go in with yellow now. So I'm going to come a little further down and start to pull up some little fireworks. And our glasses are see-through. So if you want some to show through the glass, feel free to do so. I am going to go back into that orange that I had. If you need to make some more, remember it was red, yellow, and a little bit of white. And I am going to do some red fireworks over here, or I'm sorry, some orange fireworks on this side here. And you see I'm just doing little clusters of fireworks. And then my last one was the red and white. I'm going to do the red and white in 2 places. So I'm going to do some right here in the middle, just a very small one. And then I'm going to do a little bit over here as well. Now, once you have all of your fireworks in, I am actually going to switch to a smaller brush and we're going to add a layer of white on top of it. So I'm going to start back at the numbers and I'm going to go back into all of the fireworks as well, but I'm using a smaller round brush. And to give it that kind of bright, almost neon look, right in the center of the numbers, I am going to do white. And if your paint is still wet, that's okay. It's going to blend in and create a lighter version of the color that you're working on top of. And that is completely fine. Now, you can also go back on top of the fireworks and do white dashes to make them a little bit brighter, or to give them a little extra detail. Now I'm going to keep using my white. Now that I have all of that filled in, I'm going to keep using my white, and I'm going to add some little lights onto my buildings. If you like the silhouette look, you can leave it as is. I'm not going to add them everywhere. I just want to go through and add some little white dashes just to give the look of little lights in my building. And once you have your little lights on the building, at this point we have everything filled in. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight to my glasses. Now, if you like your glasses how they are with just white, you can leave them as is. I'm not adding any actual champagne or drinks to mine, but if you would like to, you feel free to do so. You can always take a little bit of yellow and white paint and just fill your glass in as high as you like. But what I am actually going to do is I'm going to add some little highlights on my glasses. So the colors that I used in my fireworks, I am going to add a little bit of those colors on my glasses. And you don't have to do every color. You can do the colors you want. But you just want to add some quick little highlights wherever you would like to see them at. It is completely up to you. And once you have the highlights on your glasses, if there's anything else that you would like to add, remember you can add whatever else that you want to make this your own. But the last thing you want to make sure to do is simply sign your name. So I am going to use my smallest brush and just sign my initials in the corner. And once you have signed your name, you now have your very own New Year fireworks painting. Thank you all so much for painting with me today. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have had a very Merry Christmas with your friends, family, and loved ones, and that you are ready for the new year and that you have a great new year. And I will see you all in the new year. We will be making more memories and masterpieces together. And don't forget, if you can still see your chalk lines, just wait until it's completely dry and then you can wipe them right away. Also, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you do not miss the next tutorial. I will see you all in 2025.